If you're hurt, injured, don't waste time. Gary Johnson cries for every dime.
Welcome to Simply the Law, a program created by attorney Gary C. Johnson. Simply the Law provides free legal advice and encourages happiness and quality of life. Now, here's Simply the Law with Gary C. Johnson. Hello, everyone. Welcome into Simply the Law. I'm Keith Casebolt. You're going to be surprised about tonight's show, and so am I, because my good friend Gary Johnson just told me, I'll tell you what we're going to talk about after we get on television. So I have no idea. You have no idea. He's holding all the secret cards.
I don't have anything to talk about. Hi, guys and gals. Good to see you. Good to be with you. Thank you. 30 minutes.
Wow.
That's what you're giving us. Think about that. What a wonderful honor that is for both myself and Keith, that you, out of your dash, would take 30 minutes of your life and spend with us. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. We will try to not be too boring, but you know how it is. We're just human, right? But thank you, folks. You're dear friends. I wish I could reach out and touch every one of you and tell you how much we appreciate the fact that you would hang out with us, because we need people to hang out with us.
Gary,
Makes us happy.
I hate to interrupt you, but I want to say to our friends, we talked about this on the radio program, and when you started thanking our friends for their 30 minutes, I immediately said, oh, I get it, the value of 30 minutes. If you're a doctor, you get paid X amount for 30 minutes. If you're at this job, you get paid X amount for this. And I was putting it in a monetary tone, and you said, no, Keith, you don't get it. I'm talking about 30 minutes of their life they've given us.
Which is priceless. It's priceless. And you're sharing it with us. We understand and we appreciate. So thank you, my friends. Now, on a more serious matter, has any of you been fighting this week? Yep, Coach, you didn't. I don't know why, but I suspect somebody watching this program, in fact, I'm comfortable with that fact, they've been getting in a little bit of a fight this week. Now it's time to get over it. You need each other more than you would ever know. Just imagine if that person's not in your life tomorrow. Where would you be? So get over the fight. Yeah. You're wasting valuable time at the dash. Don't do it. Okay?
You know, I got to tell you something. This program has done wonders. My wife said, you know, now I get it. Anytime we get mad at each other, I'm going to say something, you're going to say something, I'm going to pout, you're going to pout, we're not going to talk for 2 or 3 days, and then we're going to make up. What do you say we just skip all that and get to the making up part? And I said, you have been watching Gary. You have been listening.
The making up part's the good part.
Isn't that great advice?
The rest of it's just misery. So, my friends, I hope to the best of your ability, none of you have criticized, condemned, and complained this past week. I hope to the best of your ability that you've been impeccable with the word, that you've not assumed anything, that you've done the best you can do without worrying about what the best someone else can do. And I really hope, because that's probably what started the fight, you haven't taken anything personal.
No, let me tell you what started the fight. Was on the criticism. You have now, I think with all of our friends, got us aware of when we're being critical. But here's the old slippery one that we haven't got when we're trying to help, when we're trying to give that unsolicited advice. That has been so hard, Gary, to realize that it's masked as criticism, and then you get your feelings hurt because I was trying to help the individual. But in all honesty, I was criticizing their choices.
Remember, for those of you that may not have heard me last 15 times I've said it, unsolicited advice is camouflaged criticism. And you'll say, you'll want to argue with that, but it's true. When you go up to someone and say, boy, that's a nice new car, but I would have.
Why'd you get that
Or I
color?
like the way you're building your home, but you know, if it was me, I would have. You have absolutely started criticizing and don't even know you're criticizing. Now, if someone asks you, what do you think I should do here? It's okay to do it. But if they're just showing you something, they're asking you what you think, you say, boy, I think you're doing a good job there. It looks really good to me. Because if they've already done it, you can't change it. And all you can do is make them feel bad by saying something different. Remember that. It's human relations. It may keep you out of a bunch of trouble, and it'll make people like you. And it'll help you with your dash a little bit. Be happy, right? So, keep your mouth shut unless you're asked to open it.
It is the hardest thing in the world to do. Now, you used a couple of big examples. Somebody gets a new car and you say, oh, I don't like that color. Or they're building a house and you say, you know what I would have done. But it's even on a small scale. If you go to lunch and I'm like, Gary, why did you order the salmon? I don't like salmon. And you say, I didn't order it for you, Keith, I ordered it for me. Mm-hmm. But why do we feel the need to share this unsolicited advice to people?
It's like taking a breath of air. It is so second nature to us to do that. And that's why I'm pointing it out to my friends, so you will be fully aware of it when you're doing it. Might not stop you from doing it, but at least you'll be aware of it when you do it. It'll sneak up on you, and you'll never know you're doing it till it's too late. So beware, beware, beware. It's like taking a drink of water, or taking a breath of air. You can't wait to give that unsolicited advice. How many of you have been caught in that? Raise your hands, every single one of you that's done it. Hey, hey. That's the truth. We do it all the time and we don't even know we're doing it.
I was at the golf course the other day and a guy had about 190 yards over water to the green and he said, I think I'll lay up. And I said, no, go for it. You can make it. And the ball hit in the middle of the pond and he just turned and looked at me. Now, why did I feel the need to tell this individual who had already made up their mind what they wanted to do, what I thought he should do? And as soon as it happened and I got the look, I thought, I just broke Gary's rule. I just gave unsolicited advice.
It is so hard. I'll tell you what, tomorrow, watch every time and catch yourself every time you do it.
Gary, it's worse than this. After he gave me the look and I realized what I did, I had to protect myself. So I said, really, you didn't hit it good. You could have made it. You could have made it if you'd hit the ball good. So I immediately went into protection mode to protect myself from what I had done.
Yep. So we're just human, right? Boy, wouldn't it be nice if we could be more.
It wouldn't be any fun.
I'm trying to give you a few little bitty tips and rules to go by to make the path of being human a little easier, to keep yourself a little bit out of trouble, right? But not criticizing, condemning, complaining, and giving unsolicited advice, just a few things like that. I'm not saying you won't do it because the hardest one of all probably is being impeccable with the word, right, my friends? It is so hard to do. Somebody will start some gossip and you can't wait to get in on it. You can't wait. Oh boy, let me in on it. Well, here's what I know about this. It's just being human. But at least be aware you're doing it and try to the best of your ability, my good friend, to refrain from doing it if you can. Understanding you're just a human being. You're unique, no question about it. There's no other human being like you. You're one of a kind. But you come with a few frailties that the good Lord built into us as human beings, I think, so He can laugh and have fun watching us. Sometimes I think it.
You know, that in all honesty, I asked Gary the other day, I was telling him about a television series. I said, you really ought to watch this. And Gary said, I don't have time. I'm too busy watching Human Nature. And you said it, there's nothing on television that's any better than what Human Nature
There will
is.
never be anything better. The most fun of all is watching yourself do stupid stuff without even thinking. And then trying to figure out, well, how can I stop myself from doing these dumb things that I know better than to do because I know the rules. You're alive when you do it. I was in a line the other day waiting with a bunch of people, and everybody in that line was somewhere else. They were not in that line. Physically, their body was in that line, but they were somewhere else. And I said to them, I said, folks, how many of you are somewhere else? And they looked at me, like I was crazy or something. And I said, let's take for just a second and try to be here in the line together. Just give me 30 seconds. And it changed the entire outlook on their faces. Try it sometime. I'm serious. If you aren't where you are right now, get there. Be there with Keith and I. Hang out with us. Look at us and say, you're stupid what you're saying. That's okay. I don't agree with that. That's okay. But at least be here with us, right? If you're going to watch the show, be here.
Gary, I had a lady the other day at the grocery store that I knew was in a hurry. And I stepped out of the way and I said, you can go in front of me. And she said, you don't mind? I said, I'm in no hurry to get to the end of the dash. And she turned around and said, I watched the show. I know what you're talking about. She said, but I've got to get this chicken to the church. I said, okay, no problem. But you're absolutely right. I mean, being there changes everything.
It'll help you with your dash, I promise you. Let's take a break and we'll come right back and we're going to talk about something different.
Well, now, how about that for a teaser? So you got to stay tuned because Gary's got something for us. And I promise you this, it's not going to be easy to do, but it'll help if you can. We'll be back with Simply the Law and Gary C. Johnson right after this break.
People are asking, what is judo law? Judo is a martial art that uses the opponent's strength to defeat them by not opposing it directly. Gary C. Johnson created a method of practicing law based upon that principle. It worked so well, he named it judo law. To see the results, go to GaryCJohnson.com. To have Gary and his team of judo lawyers go to work for you, dial pound HURT. This is an advertisement.
Welcome back into Simply the Law. You know, always when you start off the beginning of this program, and I would have thought after 20 years that I would get it, but the weekly reminder takes me right back to saying, okay, I can do this. I can keep those rules. I can make a happier dash. It is a great reminder.
My friend, there's a reason I keep repeating a bunch of this. And it's because I know how hard it is and how easy it is to forget those little bitty things that will make a difference in your dash. Therefore, ever so often I'll talk about the things that we've talked about here, simply because of a refresher. Now, this book, John C. Maxwell, Maxwell Daily Reader, you got it there? It's got some interesting things in it. He's got something for every day that I guess if you want to daily look at it and get some idea. But there's some things in it that when I was going through it, I sort of highlighted because I want to share them with you. One is do the right thing. And Keith, do the right thing and see if you can read those for us and take them one at a time.
I will, and the good news is it'll pop up on your screen, so it'll be easy for you to see. When it comes to doing the right thing, here are 5 questions you need to ask yourself. Am I hiding something? That's a very important question.
Think about that. Are you hiding something?
Number 2, am I hurting anyone? You know, we'll come back off the screen. Gary, those 2 alone, you're talking about a self-check. Am I hiding something? Am I hurting anyone? As a test,
By what I'm doing.
By what I'm doing. So there's 3 more. All right, we'll put this back up. How does it look from the other person's point of view? That could be the hardest one, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Have I discussed it face to face? Number 4. And oh, here's the biggie. What would I tell my child to do? All right, now let's discuss those. First,
And deciding to do the right thing.
yeah, let's go to number.
Those are the questions you should ask yourself.
On number 3, let's go to that one because I think it is the second hardest. And how is it from the other person's point of view? We get so wrapped up in our own cause, our own beliefs, our own feelings, that the hardest thing in the world to do is to sit down and say, how does this other individual feel about what's going on?
How do they perceive what I'm doing? Do they perceive that I'm doing the right thing? If they don't perceive that I'm doing the right thing, there's a pretty good probability I may not be doing the right thing. And that number 1 on, am I hiding something? In other words, am I hiding something that the other person needs to know to help them make their decision? If I am, then I'm not doing the right thing. Period. That's what this book is saying. Number 2, if I do this, whatever it is I'm planning on doing, will any other human being be hurt in any way whatsoever? If they are, I'm probably not doing the right thing, right?
Yeah, what gets me is number 5 because that was the coup de grace that just stopped everything. What would I tell my child to do in this situation? All of us, we want the best for our children. We want our children to do the right thing. So to me, number 5, that's the stopper. What would I tell my child to do?
That's the one you do when all the others fail.
It's the safety
You look
net.
around and you say deep down inside where the old heart is and everything that matters, you say to yourself, I'm getting ready to do this, and if my child was getting ready to do it, what would I tell them to do? And I guarantee you every single time you would tell your child to do the right thing. You would tell them to make sure they didn't hurt anyone. You would tell them not to hide anything, you would tell them to communicate face to face. You would tell them how to do the right thing.
Gary, let me ask you on this because maybe a lot of our friends are saying, I always try to do the right thing.
Sure.
I would like to think that you and I do too, but how about when it's difficult? How about when it's going to be hard to do the right thing? How about when it's going to hurt to do the right thing?
If anyone gets hurt when something you're doing, it should be you, not someone else. It's that simple. If you have to make a choice, do I get hurt or do they get hurt? Choose you.
You and I were talking about this, and on a former television show you had talked about when the king brought the jury in and he threatened to kill them and do all of these things. I looked at you and I said, I'd like to think I would have been one of those brave people that said, I'm going to do the right thing. Truth of the matter is, I probably wouldn't have done the right thing. I probably would have bailed out and saved my neck.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll never have to be put to the test. Let's take a break and we'll come back. There's another one of the things in this book I want to share with you folks.
I really like number 5. What would you tell your child to do? The right thing. Stay with us. Simply the Law with Gary C. Johnson right after this break. Eastern Kentucky, southern West Virginia, and southwest Virginia. It can be a tough territory to reach when it comes to marketing. We can help. We can also help you find your identification. And we have plenty of services to do it and a lot of experience behind us, over 37 years. In fact, we've either booked or sold nearly $70 million in advertising in this region. You need a new voice, a new idea, a new concept? Casebolt Marketing. We're ready to go to work for you today. Our motto is nothing happens until you make it happen. So let's get started today. Welcome back into Simply the Law, 5 great steps to tell you why you should do the right thing.
And there's another page in the book that I want to share with my friends, and it has to do a little bit about looking inside yourself to determine whether or not you are going to be happy. So Keith, will you share that with us?
Happy to. Happy to.
What page are we on there?
This is the happiness, and I'm going to tell you there's one that may get us in trouble here. But if you want happiness, number 1, happiness for an hour. How do you get it? Take a nap.
Good choice.
Number 2, if you want to be happy for an entire day, then go fishing.
And hopefully you'll catch something.
Number 3, if you'd like to be happy for a month, get married. Now, we'll come off the screen on that one. Gary, I'm wondering if this book is saying the first 30 days is winning.
I don't know now. We're just reading from the book, right?
Yeah, if you got any complaints, it's John C. Maxwell.
Right.
It's not Gary and Keith.
If you didn't make it a month, just blame him.
All right, number 4. If you want happiness for an entire year, you need to inherit a fortune. Again, I think you're telling me that a fortune can only last a year. You can go through
Well,
that.
it'll take about a year to run through it if you inherit it.
But here's the number 5, and this is the one that is serious. If you want happiness for a lifetime, then help others. Now, let's discuss this. The first 3 or 4 there were cute, and they were meant to make you laugh. But number 5 is really the only one you need. If you want happiness for a lifetime, help others.
It was building up to that. I like that married one best. How we doing, folks? Hopefully you're hanging in there with us on our 30 minutes that your life that you're sharing with us. Helping others. There is no greater satisfaction in life than helping others. Keith and I love doing this show. Now, why do we love doing this show? Because the dopamine flows in our brain and makes us feel good if we think even a little bit we're helping you get through the day. We feel good because hopefully by giving you these pointers we're talking about and these little tidbits and things that we're helping you. We hope that that's what's happening.
You know,
at least we've convinced ourselves.
You're 100% right. I saw a 19-year-old young man in the parking lot who came up to me and said, "Tell Gary that 24-hour rule really works." And I thought, young man, I would give anything to be 19 and to know that rule. It would have saved me, oh my goodness, it would have saved me problems. And it made me feel good that this young man had watched the program, heard about the 24-hour rule, and was so smart and intelligent, he was already using it.
I'll bet you that some of my friends that are watching this program right now failed last week to use the 24-hour rule. And you're looking back on it in hindsight and said, "Oh no, I wish I'd used the 24-hour rule." Right? Oh no, that stung big time because I opened my big mouth without waiting 24 hours. It happens, folks. The 24-hour rule, I'm going to repeat it right now. If a decision is to be made or something is to be responded to and there's any emotion whatsoever in it, shut that mouth and wait 24 hours before you reply. Don't get on there and start typing, "I'm going to show them." Don't do it. Because I promise you 100%, I absolutely guarantee you, my friends, that 24 hours later, your response will be different.
Gary,
Completely different.
I got to share this with my friends, and you know Olivia at the office. She came in the other day and handed her phone to me and said, I don't need the 24-hour rule, I just need 1 hour. Keep it, don't give it to me or I'll text back. So she had got upset over something, so she brought the phone in and said, hold on to my phone at least for an hour so I don't text back. That was her version of the 24-hour rule because she didn't want to text back while she had emotions going and was upset.
That's right. It's amazing the difference it'll make in your life. Even, like he said, if you just wait an hour. The 24 hours, you're 100% safe, but an hour may save you a lot of grief. Remember, we have 90% of the grief we have comes from that instant emotional response that we make to something someone else has said or done. And if we can learn to control that instant response, you will be amazed at the difference in the happiness you will have in this life.
You know, what's so funny is if you've ever texted, got ready to text something or email something, a nasty response, as soon as you hit that send, that little voice in your head goes, oh no, I shouldn't have done that, and you can't bring it back.
Let's take our last break and we'll be right back.
Again, human nature. We started the top of the program talking about it. It really is fun to learn. Stay with us. We'll close out the program when we come back. Gary C. Johnson and Simply the Law after this.
I'm Gary C. Johnson. I developed a method of representing my clients called judo law. Using judo law, our team set the record for the largest personal injury verdict in the state of Kentucky. No other law firm has even come close. We've had several multi-million-dollar verdicts since then. And guess what? Now, most of our cases settle. If you've been hurt and you need money fast, give us a call, pound hurt.
Welcome back to Simply the Law. Now, he didn't tell me about tonight's program, but I have a funny feeling. He always brings this together. Do the right thing, and helping others brings you happiness. No wonder you love what you do.
I do. I love what I do. I have, to the best of my ability, being human, I have mastered most of these things that I'm talking to you about. Now, that doesn't mean I don't slip, because I'm human. But if you can master those and you can at least keep them in the front of your mind, my friends, you will be amazed how much happier you are. There's no reason not to be happy. There's not. Help somebody. Do some good. Yay!
And do the right thing.
My
friend, thank you. Thank you so much for the lesson. And at the top of the hour, Gary said, what a privilege it was for the 30 minutes. Both of us mean that from the bottom of our heart. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, Gary and I look forward to seeing you again next week, right here at this very same time.
Thank you for watching Simply the Law, a program created by Gary C. Johnson. Until next week, may you be safe, blessed, and happy.